A lot of motion this morning on this episode,
Lot of
episode
motion,
37, season 2, episode 37. A lot of motion here in the office. We got West Side Motion with us. Mr. Scott Hill in the building today. We kicked Dave out. Dave's over there doing some work, so he's sitting in the big chair right across. How's everybody feeling this morning?
Better than I deserve.
He beat you.
Blessed and highly favored.
Mr. Scott, how you feeling?
Feeling great. It's a weekend.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Hey, it is Friday. That's why we all got our motion on today.
Yeah.
Ready to move into the weekend, ready to get things popping.
You know, motion goes a long way, especially on the weekends, Starts off the weekend right on a Friday, start the pod, some shades on.
I agree.
Let the people know, like, hey, it may be Friday, but it's a business Friday, Handling business, working hard.
Still got to get stuff done.
Still got to wake up.
I don't know if these portray business, but
No, but it's, what it portrays?
Yours are kind of opposite. Yours are like party in the front, business in the back.
It's straight up. It's time for the weekend. Give me
It's
my
just straight
Twisted
into the
and Bush
weekend.
Light. Let's get rolling.
Oh, I like that.
all right.
I like that.
Maybe a little natural light there, too.
Yeah, a little maybe
Ooh.
Natter Day.
Oh, blast from the past. Okay.
I have not had one of those in a long time.
I don't even think they make those anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
we
there
have
we go.
Mr. YMCA in the building, Scott Hill. Scott, how has the YMCA been doing this year?
We're doing great. We're off to a good start, I feel like, with a lot of our programs at the Northwest Y. That's where I'm out of, is the Northwest Y. So our Kid Zone, our gymnastics, our sports, they're all off to a great start, I feel like, this year.
He's
Good.
rocking and rolling out at the North. We're out at the Northwest Y like every day, it seems like. So,
Dog.
my kids go out there quite a bit. Scott, just make sure you talk into your mic so we can hear you each time, but you're good. So Scott and I are actually, a little backstory. Scott and I are neighbors, or at least for the next couple of weeks. We've been neighbors for the last 5 years, 6 years, however long we've been there, and now we're getting ready to move. So
Yeah, I hope whoever you sell the house to has kids.
they do. They do have two. They have 2 kids. I don't know them personally, but they told us they had 2 kids. So we are leaving just because I didn't want to move our swing set thing. I was like,
yeah,
"You guys
for
want
sure.
that?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll take that." I was like, "Thank goodness."
That's a pain in the butt.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that thing sucked. But yeah. So we're not going to be neighbors anymore, but we'll still be buddies. So Scott and I also share a love for the Green Bay Packers. So
Really, Scott?
we've gone out. We technically were at the same game, so we went out there and hung out in Lambeau, and we talk Packers all the time, so that's always a good thing. So I was gonna segue that into some football stuff, but before I do that, with the YMCA, so our background. So I wanted to kind of make sure that we touch on our partnership. So with the KCLB. Scott and I think it was actually like 6 or 7 years ago now, came together, and that's how all of our baseball players that come in the summertime, they get YMCA memberships. So Scott has kind of helped us segue that into making that partnership happen. But we do, we volunteer and do some stuff with the Y. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yep.
Because I think that started, I want to say it was about 6 years ago now. Started with just a couple teams, but that's kind of blossomed into some other things. So how has that been going for you guys? What's that kind of entail? Let's tell the people a little about that.
Yeah, it's been a great partnership. I mean, it started with just, like you said, 1 or 2 teams, I believe, and they were helping us at the Northwest Y only. I think it was the Curve. And I'm trying to remember the other team. It might have been
Park City and Valley.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it was 3 then. So you had all
Yeah.
3 teams, but we just started with 1 location, and that was the Northwest Y. And basically, you guys would send your players that have experience playing, right? Like, that's what we needed. We needed the coaching. Not everybody that works in our sports department has a knack for coaching that particular sport. And so anytime we can get that expertise in there, that's, we wanted to take advantage of that. And so, yeah, you guys would send about 3 players each time. But so I guess I should start with what it is. It's a micro T-ball clinic that we run over the summer. It is a month-long clinic. They just meet once a week for an hour, so basically 4 hours. But we run multiple times of them, right? So we ran 3 of them at the Northwest Y during the course of June. And again, you guys would send 3 players to each of those. and coach each night. And so it offered a great learning opportunity for 3 and 4 year olds. So it's a T-ball clinic geared towards 3 and 4 year olds. So we're working on the very basics, right? I mean, just getting them excited to be there, and a lot of running bases and simple catch and hitting off the tee. But yeah, that's how it started. And in return, the players on those teams got a YMCA membership for June and July. So why they were here for the summer?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I always I enjoy that stuff. I think it's important for us to just give back to our community, because without our community support, we wouldn't have our teams. Like, it wouldn't be something that we'd be able to do. And 2, like for players that are trying to play at the next level, and especially college and beyond, community and volunteer hours, like trying to give back, that type of stuff, to me, that's like bigger picture, building, and more important than just showing up and playing the game. So trying to do that stuff has always been on the forefront of us, trying to set things up for the summertime and trying to make sure that we keep that on the forefront, because there's a lot of families out there that's how I fell in love with baseball. Was I went to college summer baseball games, really, and met players. They helped me, played catch with me, like did stuff like that. And, so I just remember those interactions. And then that's what led me down the path of wanting to play baseball more and more and more as I was growing up. And, so I think that, if we can give back to kids and do some things for them to help them out, like that should always be part of our mission. And our guys need a good place to work out. And obviously the YMCA facilities here in the area, for the people that listen to us, they all probably know, but I think they're probably the best in the country. I actually asked Adam that when we were talking. I was like, do you think that these ones are the best? And he was like, yeah, they're probably like top 3. He was like, for sure. But he also knows all the odds and ends of like every location, I'm sure. You getting back in, big dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, and now, that's where we started, right? And so now it's blossomed into, we had 6 teams last summer. Now we have 5 this summer.
Yep.
Supporting more than just the Northwest Y, right? So,
right.
not all of our branches, but all of our branches that run, or majority of our branches that run youth sports, I would say, here in the Wichita area, are supported by a team to help run their micro T-ball clinic in the month of June.
Yeah. No, it's awesome, man. The only teams, the 2 teams that are out of it now are Wellington and Winfield, just because there's not really a Y that's close enough to them to really make it make sense. Kind of hard having them drive back and forth, which is understandable, because the guys, we do a lot of driving in the summertime as it is. Not super far, but when you do it every day and just going and going and going, I know I got to take them off every time too. My eyes start to tweak out, and I'm like, what is going on in here? But yeah, no, we appreciate the why. We appreciate our partnership and being able to do things. Why don't you tell a little bit of your background? Because obviously you've been in the, collegiate summer space, but tell us a little bit more about like you kind of coming up. What sports did you play? What kind of led you down the path of, working in sports? I want to make sure that we talk about ESPN the Ocho at some point in time as well too. So let's not forget that. But tell us a little bit, where did you grow up? What sports did you play? Kind of give us a little more background on you. What's up, Naj? You're back.
I'm back.
What up, big dog?
What up, big dog?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up here. Basically, I've lived on the west side of Wichita my whole life.
West side's the best side.
Except for about a year up at Johnson County playing ball there. Yeah. But I played everything under the sun, I feel like. Soccer, basketball, baseball. I played a lot of backyard football. I never played organized football. I feel like I didn't do that because I was kind of small. But I always joke with my wife, I'm like, I'm the jack of all trades.
Yeah. And there's a reason for that. That's an important piece to the rest of the story. You guys are going to get a kick out of this story, but keep going.
So I grew up playing everything. And then once I got to probably 5th or 6th grade, I quit playing soccer. And I played basketball through 8th grade. But after that, it was just baseball once I got to high school level. Went to Bishop Carroll here in town. And then went to Johnson County and played a year there. And then after that, I moved home. I definitely didn't lose my love for baseball. I think I just lost my love for the grind, I guess. And I did not really care for the pitching coach that came in after I had already agreed to go there. So I just kind of quit playing at that point.
Little
Moved-
side note: Johnson
yeah.
County, #1 in the nation this year.
Are they really?
Yeah. They're tearing it up in the regional
Bro,
right
they-
up the street right now.
I think they've won like 40
40 in a row. 40 in a row.
It'd be like 42 in a row now.
Yeah. Yeah. 42,
Yeah,
43.
but they're like 50 and
2.
50
Wow.
and 3. Yeah, that's what I
That's
don't know what it is.
impressive.
Yeah, so they lead. They broke their own school's home
No,
run
no,
record.
they beat the like college home run record
There's a
too.
college.
Yeah, because they have 188. They beat the 1991 LSU
but
Tigers.
that's like all
all
divisions.
That's D1, D2, D3,
And
NAIA,
everything.
JUCO, everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they're unreal.
Well, they
this
always
year.
had good facilities, but I feel like they're probably way better than when I was there
No, I think you started it.
24 years
I
ago.
think
You
you were
know
a big benefactor in how that started to
Oh,
take
yeah.
off the right direction.
We should talk about that regional though. We should talk about that regional.
I want to actually go watch Cloud plays Johnson today
They
at 1,
They did. This is the second time they'll play each other. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
but
play.
but they play an elimination game.
Yeah,
today
this
at
is the
1.
elimination game, and that's what's crazy because if you didn't know, Cloud and Johnson County, that's a 1 and 2 of the regional.
Yeah.
Like, and they have to play in the same region. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The 1 and 2 team in the country got to play in the same regional. Like me and Tommy talked about it a little bit.
Shout out to Eric Gillen. He actually was a
Where
coach
they
of
playing
mine.
it?
Yeah.
WSU.
That was my next
Oh,
question.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
WSU. 1 o'clock is when they play. I don't know what the times of the other games, but
Who cares?
yeah, that's right. We'll
One
see
versus
at 1.
2, man.
It's gonna be sweet. I don't know what it costs to get in or anything, but I kind of want to go down there.
I think it's
But,
like
you know.
$12.
Can't imagine
Is
it's
it?
that much.
All right, keep going. Sorry, we get off tangents.
No, you're
Yeah.
good. Well, that's basically my background growing up.
Yeah.
So then I went to Wichita State after that, after a 7-year hiatus of going to school. So I decided, it's time for me to go back. I know what I want to do. So I got a sport management degree at Wichita State, and
A former sports management
Okay.
degree person in here as well. Yeah.
all right. And then I got a internship at the Far Hall Sports Center for the Y. And right after that, I was offered a sports director job. So I have been with the Y ever since, going on 10 years. I've been a sports director for about 8.5 of those. And then end of 24, I got a promotion to senior program director. I got to stay at the Y that I was at with the Northwest Y. So actually, I started as a sports director at East Y. So I was East Y for 2 years, then transferred to Northwest, and then was at Northwest sports director for 7 years, and then now I've been a senior program director at Northwest. And all that entails that means I oversee 3 different areas of the building. We have 3 senior program directors that report to our branch director, and
Who's the branch director?
it's Jason Pedigo,
Yeah,
which is
because we have-
very involved in
yeah.
the baseball scene.
Well,
so
we
I'm
have
sure
his
you
son.
guys are.
Oh.
His son trains at Parisi.
Really?
Yeah, Jax.
Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I thought that's who it was. I've seen him walking around there
Yep.
just a couple different times, but yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
he's a
He's a
good-
cool dude.
Jack's my boy.
He's a good, hell of a ball player.
Yeah.
So yeah, I oversee the sports director. So I'm still involved in the sports world at Northwest, and I still help out with the sports world as far as the Y goes for the association. Obviously, we kept this partnership going, and I support that for the association as far as kind of communication. I take on the communication with your coaches, and they will tell me which 3 players are coming. And a lot of times it's not till the day before, or sometimes even the morning of, just because they don't know which 3 players they're going to send. Right? I mean, you have guys that are pitched the night before, and
Yep.
so that's probably the guy they're going to send, right? Or maybe somebody has a minor injury and they can't play, and so that's a guy they're going to send, right?
Mhm.
So, and we get that. We know that going in. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the partnership's been cool. I think it's good for the players, and once they actually get there and like do the stuff, like they kind of settle into it and they have fun with it and enjoy it. But yeah, so obviously involved in sports, doing a lot of different sports things around here. Just kind of a question on that, just with dealing with YMCA sports in general. What's kind of been what's your take on? Because the way that I kind of look at it, like we have travel ball, right? Like you guys are involved in travel ball and doing different things there. What are some of the challenges that you guys have found, like with parents and things like that, with your guys's, like, it might be a little bit of a loaded question, but, just with, organizing with youth parents, like doing the different things inside of what you guys got going on? Because you do all sports over there, right? Like you guys got flag football, soccer, baseball, basketball, volleyball.
Those 5. Yep.
Yeah, so like you got all of those going on. What are some of the things that you see that are a little bit different with YMCA sport related things in comparison to maybe what you see on the fronts of like the actual travel ball scene? Like, is there any major key differences that you guys notice or see anything different, or is it all just kind of running together nowadays?
No, I would say, I mean, cost.
Yeah.
I mean, we're very cost affordable.
Sure.
So our seasons are a little bit more condensed. We're 8 weeks, 10 weeks if you count a couple weeks of practice before games start. So we do condense it a little bit. And I would say your travel ball, you're playing it more year round. And the Y does have that opportunity as well with our Farhouse Sports Centers. You can play volleyball, basketball, soccer year round. Not baseball or flag football, but we offer multiple seasons of that. I mean, for flag football, we run a spring and a fall, and we run basically 2 different types of leagues. We run the YMCA flag, which what we would consider more of our rec league, and then we run an NFL flag, which is what we would call our more competitive league, right? And so we try to get, and we offer that concept for pretty much every sport we do, except for baseball.
Yeah.
Because we have a rec league, and then we have our intermediate and advanced, which is run through our Farhouse Sports Centers.
Right.
So.
Do you guys, in that, like organizing all of those different sports, what's like your most attended, or like what's your biggest sport that you guys have?
Oh, well, for me, that answer is easy. It's soccer.
Yeah.
We at Northwest, we had over 1,550 kids signed up for spring soccer. It is our largest sport by far.
Wow.
It's when I first got to the Northwest Y as a sports director, I think we were right around 900 or 850
Thanks,
kids.
that's almost doubled.
So it's grown. And of course, the selfish part of me would say that's me, right? Like, I built that now. But and there's probably some of that.
Yeah.
But the area over there, right, is it's a boom.
Do you think that has to do with some facility though? Like, is that you guys got that new space that's out there that has all of those fields plus your flag football stuff that's over there? Like, granted, like I guess you can play soccer just about anywhere, but you got to have like with the rain that we have, having a turf facility is kind of like a big thing now. And I don't know. I just don't feel like there's, when I think of sports in our market, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, do we have a lot of facilities? Yes. Like we do have access to certain things, but when you compare us to Oklahoma City, or you go down to Texas, or you go to some of these bigger like sports where and granted there's more people there as well too, but I always feel like every place that we have is jam packed. Like all the places are just full. And I don't know if that's a direct correlation to the growth of the sport. Like I'm sure that there's a piece of that there, but I just feel like anytime that we get the opportunity to have a new place for people to go, it's like it just gets hounded. Like, and there's just a ton of people out there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's not a lot of places, right? So when you build a place like that, you get a lot of people there. Now the key is just to maintain that, right? Like, don't lose that newness, for lack of a better word, right? So, and we haven't. I mean, Northwest has continued to grow in soccer, but so is that area. So, I mean, we got to grow with it.
Sure.
What was I going to say now?
You're going to tell us about some cool new plans, something that you're not supposed to say?
No, that's not
dang it.
No. So when we do have the new turf, right? Like, so we just built that new turf, fall of 24. Fall of 24. And we were over at Mays. We were using the turf at Mays South. And so when they built that turf, because back when Northwest Y was originally built, they used the grass out back for soccer. And the grass may have been better at that time, but it's not, it's a little bit beat up.
Sure.
And it sits in a flood zone, so that doesn't help.
Yeah.
But when they built the Mays South, they had that turf right outside their football stadium. And so it was built as a partnership with the Y and Mays School District. And it was a 10-year agreement. And that expired after the summer of 24. And so we had to plan, right? And so we knew it was coming, and so we had to plan for what we were going to do. I mean, we can't move back to that grass out back. Is one, it's not enough room anyways,
Right.
for the size of our program. I mean, we were using that turf at May South and running games from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night till dark.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't have lights on it, do they?
No, they don't. No, and we still don't. But now we have a little bit more space.
Yeah.
We have 2 full size soccer fields, 11v11. But then you split that up. You can break it down into smaller size fields, and we're running our soccer games and our flag football games on that turf.
Oh yeah.
As we
The
speak, and
zoo.
we're still running till 7 o'clock at night.
A zoo out there. Of people.
Yes, yeah, and so it's completely full on Saturday. I mean, we had to add. I mean, maybe Adam talked to you about this, but we had to add extra parking.
Yeah.
The first couple seasons that we were there, first couple of falls and springs that we were there, the parking was a bit of a nightmare, and some might still say it is a little bit, but it's way
It's getting better.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
way better
for sure.
now because we have that overflow parking where we brought in gravel and like those cement.
Well, and the other thing
Parking
too, I
blocks.
talked about this last night actually because we were at T-ball, and the thing about that age of sports, like the sports that are playing out there for the most part, it's not just one parent that shows up. Like high school, like usually it's mom and dad, and that's basically it. When you go there, you got mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts and uncles. Like it's like a full family affair every time you step on the T-ball field. Like you look there and the field's just lined with people. So it's just more than, I guess, like what your normal numbered attendance would be for
Well,
like higher up.
Especially for those younger ages.
That's what
like
I mean.
the pre-K
Yeah.
and the kindergartners and the first,
Yeah.
like everybody's coming, right?
Yeah, grandmas, grandpas. And I mean, we literally roll in there with like 9 deep every time, and they hit 2 times and then leave. It's like, there's a lot of people coming out there for that, but everybody does that.
Yeah.
Like, and the parking is just, it just is what it is. Like, what do you do?
Well,
you
and
know?
we started having inviting food trucks
Uh-huh.
to come out,
Yeah.
because we don't have a concession stand. And,
Right.
not that I necessarily wanted to have one either, but,
Yeah.
it made sense.
Too.
Like we have all those people there. Let's get some food trucks out
Sure.
there. So, and I hate for them to compete against each other. So I usually just try to just get one.
Sure.
I invite them out for the lunchtime, and then another one out for the dinner time.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Usually have a coffee truck out there in the morning.
Yeah.
Our gymnastics team did a fundraiser out there the
Nice.
other day, like selling waters and Gatorades and snacks. So I always try to have something out there for people
Yeah.
to get something.
I'm sure they do pretty good.
Yeah,
it's busy.
I like to think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's, like I said, that field is completely full till 7 o'clock at night.
That's crazy. How do you do with the like getting umpires, referees, like that type of stuff? So I know that's always a challenge for sure. Like what's been kind of your guys' system being able to like find people to do it, but then retain them and like keep them involved, because we've talked about that a lot on the pod as well too. Like just in sports in general, dealing with parents in this day and age and the way that they treat officials, and
tough.
It's kind of crazy, but. And you see all the viral videos of all the things that go on out there. But how have you guys been able to kind of, do that and cultivate a culture to kind of keep people in there?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, earlier when you brought up, like, what are the challenges? We didn't really get into that. I would say, scheduling refs or getting refs, right, to begin with is a struggle. And then once you have them, just getting them to consistently work.
Yep.
Because a lot of our refs are athletes themselves. And so their availability sometimes is not great.
Tougher.
Yeah. But that's what you want. You want people who played the sport that know what they're doing to call those games. And so sometimes you just have to deal with that and try to make it work as best you can. But so we do a lot of, we do social media posts. We try to, let people know that we need more refs or officials. We try to get into some schools. We're trying to talk about that right now. Like, what can we do to improve this process? So we actually been spending last few months as a small group that I've actually been helping with, trying to figure out a game plan to improve this. So we're hoping to get into some school, like some of your high schools and even some of your colleges. Najee, maybe you can speak on this because you went to Friends. But I think they have a course where they do officiating classes.
I took that was one of my last classes I took, techniques of officiating.
Okay, so
Yes.
What did you learn?
learn the rules of how to officiate multiple sports, like all sports:
Okay.
basketball, baseball, wrestling, softball, track.
Interesting.
Yep, went over the equipment and all of that for that. Actually, Friends does have like a corner for to help out the YMCA. It's like our outreach. We have an outreach guy in our intramurals type of thing.
Is that
Well,
Alan?
yes,
Okay.
Alan, Trevor Bejan. Shout out to those guys. Those are two really great guys. No matter what you throw at them, they always have a smile on their face. But we do have something like that, and I feel like every athlete needs to have some type of officiating at a younger age. Because if I officiated when I grew up a little bit more, I feel like I would be a lot better to officials growing up if I did that at a younger age. Because I feel like that's where a lot of it comes from. A lot of kids don't understand the other side of the coin. And I feel like that's what it takes sometimes. The same thing with coaching, is that every college coach would say, I wish my players would coach to understand, because the other side of the coin. So that's kind of the officiating thing is hard, but you got to find a way to do it, because you got to see how it's different. You got to test out the different parameters of the sport, because it's not just playing and yelling at the ref. You got to be able to see what it's like to be yelled at and see what it's like to mess up on the officiating side, because you do got to remember at the end of the day, these officials are human. They are human. They're going to make mistakes, and life goes on. I did a little bit of YMCA officiating
You did.
for basketball a little
I
bit.
remember.
Oh.
Yeah, I did do some officiating. Basketball I thought it was cool.
I can't remember if I got any complaints when you officiated.
Probably like 100% probably. There's no way that you probably didn't get a complaint about me. If you didn't, I really did a great
Well,
job.
To be fair, it's basketball. I feel like
Yeah.
Exactly.
everybody complains in
It's gonna
every
be
single
You're gonna have a
basketball
complaint
game. There's
every
so
game.
much,
Well,
so
depending
many
on the age.
judgmental calls.
Yeah, like you could honestly call travel every single possession.
You can.
It's like football. You can call
Yeah,
a
so
hold
then
on every
yeah,
play
then
if you
you're
wanted to.
kind of like, okay, do I call that every single possession, never get this
Yeah, you-
moving, or just pick the really egregious ones? And then
Oh,
like,
that
you got
one.
kids camping in the lane for 26 seconds. You're like 3 seconds in their in the lane. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, he was there quite a bit of time
For half an hour.
Yeah, like
What have you
he's
have
not
you
moving.
officiated anything? What'd you do?
I've umpired baseball and I've reffed basketball.
Yeah.
Back when I was in college, it wasn't. Was it? I don't know if it was through. I would have been in Sioux City, but I don't know if it was through the wire or not. I can't remember. I know the baseball league wasn't. That was a fall league. They hated me.
Sorry, Sean.
But yeah. Then the field he couldn't do behind the plate, like he couldn't handle it. So then I had to always be behind the plate for 16 innings.
Oh wow.
And I got so many foul balls and missed
Catches.
missed
Yeah.
catches right to the shoulder or the hip or the arm. One game I got like six of them, and then I was still hearing the jawing from the crowd. I'm just like, it's fall ball, man. Chill out. But
I've umpired, but I've never done basketball.
basketball, yeah, it's definitely probably tougher than people realize, just because of even at a young age, it's still you got to watch
It's
a
very
lot
fast.
of stuff,
Yeah.
especially if you only have if you have 2 refs, one at the baseline, one kind of at half court. It's still kind of hard to keep track of everything.
Just like positional wise is like I think that's a art kind of craft that most people don't understand. I mean, I know it for baseball just because I've played that my entire life. I know where everybody should be at all times because I was also that guy on the field that was like, if they were out of position and they missed a call,
Now
can't
I'm
see
arguing.
that.
Now I have a right to argue.
I'm going up to him and saying, "Hey, man." But I was also, I don't know, like I've never been thrown out of a game, so like my intellect would always take over in those types of situations. I would never yell at umpires. Like I would always walk up to them and have a conversation because I wasn't immature.
There's still time for that.
Whoa.
Banks,
I never got.
I'm sure.
I
Banks will
never,
get
as a
into
player,
it.
I never got tossed out of a game.
Yeah, but you yelled at them.
Why? Who said that?
Everybody.
They told you I yell at umpires?
Not yell. Okay, that might be a little egregious.
Alex
Now-
just told me last night that he can't yell at all.
Bro, I don't yell at umpires, dog. I don't do that. As
Who
a
you yell
player,
at?
now, don't get me wrong. There's been times where I've definitely said something indirectly towards
That's what
someone.
I mean. Yeah.
Hey, at the end of the day, I understand. Like, I get it. See,
Yeah.
I know when my comments are outrageous. I can admit. I made an outrageous comment last year in the championship game of the SBS, and to that umpire, I'm sorry. To Dan, I'm sorry, because Dan heard me. I am sorry. that was the most out of pocket thing I've said in a long, long time.
Well, go ahead and run us through it.
All right, so
Maybe not the worst part of it, but just
at this point, bro, life goes on. So
Okay.
I'll say it. Life goes on.
At every
So-
point.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were playing championship game, games going on, some shaky calls going on. So I had enough. Honestly, I've been in this championship game twice. I can't have nothing messing this up for me right now. I'm kind of upset. So after dude blows the call for the third time today, I said, dang, that's I can't say that because it got out the guy. But I said, that's your umpire of the year, really? Really? And down looked at me, and I went up my next at bat down. I was like, listen to me. If that was anybody else, I'd have thrown you so far out of this game. I was like, I'm sorry. I apologize. I realized it was out of pocket after after I said it. So
I've heard worse.
exactly. Now, was it the right words for that situation? Not at all.
that was a little personal.
Yeah, it
is
was.
what
It
was.
100%. The game was personal. What do
Yeah,
you mean?
I get you.
But like I said, never got ejected as a player. I was ejected as a coach. Arguing a rule that I was right on. Just saying, FYI.
Those ones are the worst. Too.
Like, I didn't get ejected due to me being wrong. I was right.
Yeah.
And the one thing that upsets me more than anything in this world is when umpires come to you the next day and say, I was wrong.
No,
You were
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Oh, that drives me
yeah,
up a wall.
yeah.
But like I said,
well, yeah, they're infallible when they're out there.
Yeah,
Which
so-
that to
the
me
umpire
rubs me.
said he was wrong.
Yeah.
and you were. What's wrong with that?
Nothing's
it
wrong
was-
with it.
no,
Yeah.
nothing's wrong
Oh,
with it.
okay.
No,
I
it's
was
like
gonna say,
just
I've-
get it right. Don't throw me out because you're
Yeah,
Oh, I
that,
gotcha.
that's
Okay.
the yeah.
Yeah, because
like
I've
they have control of the game, so then they
Mhm.
want to exercise that control. But then they come back afterwards, after you've already been penalized.
Yep.
You're gonna sit out a game.
Which I
you
did.
gotta weigh everything in, and then they come to you and say, "Oh, hey, that was my bad."
Mm.
It's like, "Oh, do you want to sit the game for me? Like, you want to sit out while I go out there?"
it's
Like,
too,
and
too
they're
late
like,
at
"Oh,
that
no."
point. Yeah, too late.
That's the ones that drive me up.
Sure,
walls.
I understand
Yeah.
that. I mean, I've always told our younger. I mean, so some of the challenges are we get a lot of high school refs,
Mhm.
which is great. I mean, we need those kids, right? I mean,
Gotta
those-
have 'em, Yeah,
gotta have them, and this is their starting out point,
sure.
right? We want them to grow as an official and get better. So our job is to coach them up. But yeah, one thing I've always told them is to be confident with your call, and like even if you're wrong, like just stick with the call, and there's nothing wrong with you walking over to the coach, like whether it's the next time out or whatever. It's like, hey,
100%.
I missed that one.
Yep.
My bad.
Yep.
I'll get it right moving forward.
Yep.
So yeah, I've always told them that.
And I'll be honest, the YMCA kind of taught me a little thing or two about it. It's just like being confident with the call and being able to kind of talk to the coach, have good communication with coaches. I kind of learned that from the YMCA because don't get me wrong, everybody's competitive. I'm not going to sit here and say everybody's competitive, especially at all the way down to the YMCA level. So it's just like
For sure.
learning how to communicate with those
Mhm.
everybody, because like don't get me wrong, there's a lot of different coaches. You got males, you got females, like you got young coaches, old coaches, like, and being able to talk to them and just saying, hey, I want you to know that's my fault. I kind of missed that call right there. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just after you eject me.
That's the only time I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah,
So-
they're gonna get them wrong. I mean,
So yeah,
my whole thing, especially with KCLB, it's always about I just want to get it right.
yeah.
Right. That's it. Like I just want it in like you're gonna make mistakes. We
Mm.
make mistakes. Our guys say stuff that's out of pocket all the time, right? Like we got everybody mic'd up for a reason.
Mhm.
So there's purposes there. But if we're gonna get it wrong, then let's get together so that way we get it right the next time. Like, and it's that simple. Their struggle has always been admitting when they get it wrong,
Mhm.
right? So why do I have to go to the replay? I got to go to the microphone. I got to go to this just for you to sit here and say, oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. We did get that wrong. And it's like, why do we have to do X, Y, and Z to do that? Like, let's just be men and just say, hey, like, that's me. That's my bad. And dude, we would move past it like this. But especially YMCA related, like obviously the stakes are a little lower, I guess. Like it's not quite as it's still intense, like you say. It's always going to be competitive because you're talking about sports. But the goal of that is to try and get it right. Like that's the goal. Like, and I think that's why you see, Sean's, when you talk about like all of these different things with the MLB and all the changes that they're making and all of that stuff, like I think the goal is to try and get it right, which is why you see all these things happening. But how does that impact the game? That's a whole different conversation on how deep that can go and like how does it slow it down? How does it change it? All the different stuff. But, I mean, being able to try and have the human piece of the game still involved is, I don't know how long that's going to be around because there's, MLB like big picture stuff here because it's getting kind of crazy in today's game.
Well,
So,
at the youth level, we're always going to.
it's always, yeah, 100%.
Need
It's
officials,
never going
right?
to be different.
Yeah.
And I think that's also up to the coaches to handle the parents too. I don't think the coaches do a very good job of handling their parents for the most part. Generalization, first of all, this is a generalization. So if you do handle your parents, good for you.
This is not a personal
Yeah.
attack on anyone.
No.
Are
it's
you
not.
sure?
It's not. I
Okay,
just
making sure.
I'm and their players as well. I mean, I'll tell like when I coached kids, I and my assistant coach, I had to talk to him. I was like, dude, this is one of our high school players up there umpiring. You really think he's gonna get? I told him to have it. I literally walked up to the home plate before I to have a big zone. I would rather my kids be swinging and not waiting around for something good to happen. And I'm just like, why are we getting worked up over this? It's literally such a minuscule part of the game. I have kids who come to me in lessons and are like, oh, the umpire was terrible. Oh, what? I'm like, why? What does that have to do with you?
Yeah.
You do better. Like I throw it down the middle. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like you have to still play within the umpire's calls. Really. I mean, whether their zone's bad or not, you just have to do it.
Mhm.
And chances are you're just telling me that from a biased perspective anyway. So I'm sure it really
100%.
wasn't that bad. But yeah, and I think when like coaches really need to do a good job of whether they're at the Y level or they got some
This 49ers chair is terrible.
travel ball
I don't
team,
blame you.
or if they're coaching college or whatnot, just tell your players like if I need to handle the umpires, I'll handle the umpires. Tell the parents if I need to handle the umpires, I'll handle the umpires.
Yeah.
And obviously you're not gonna be able to keep every parent quiet, but it's just like it's such a dumb thing to me that people complain about it all the time.
Well, and with umpires, it's I believe, my opinion is it's a respect thing. Like you said, they're human, right? They're just in our space. Like they're men, we're men. Like, what do you think you're gonna get out of another grown man if you go up to him and just are hooping and hollering, tearing them down,
dude, we talked about this the other
attacking
day.
them, all this stuff? Like, what type of response do you expect?
Every single man, it does and women too. For
As I
instance,
say,
but,
I've
like,
seen a few women now.
every
reffing,
single man they will
umpiring. Yeah.
they will automatically get defensive.
immediate defense.
So if you don't come at them with some sort of respect,
Yeah.
immediately, and it's quicker than ever now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Oh,
quicker
yeah.
than ever. And on one hand, I'm like, chill out, but on the other hand, I'm like, I also don't really blame them all that much because, dude, some coaches act so unhinged and
over
parents and everything.
such little things.
Yeah.
What
and-
that is certain coaches ruining it for everybody else.
Exactly.
And then those umpires have to be on guard, even if
Hmm.
even if a coach was genuinely just trying to ask a question.
Yep.
But then they have to be on guard.
They're
'cause-
immediately
yeah.
that way.
And they're taught to be that way,
Yep.
honestly, because they don't want anything to get out of hand anymore. So
My thing always, everything that I did when I played, anytime that there was anything, I would always get the ball, number one, and then I would walk the ball to usually it was obviously the umpire in the field. I was a shortstop, so I wasn't walking to the home plate,
My
but
dog.
that would have been crazy.
My
But
dog.
I would walk up to the guy, and then I would always turn my back to the benches. So I would always turn my back to the benches, and I would look into the outfield. And then, he would be on my shoulder, and I would sit here and I would talk to him looking this way, not looking at anybody else, trying to de-escalate any type of mental warfare that the dude's trying to play with me after he missed this call or blew this or whatever it was, trying to get them to just calm down for a second so that way they could actually listen to me. And granted, 90% of the time, it wasn't going to change anything that was right there, right then. But I believe, I've had umpires that I've talked to now later in life and stuff that, they would favor in the aspects of remembering that type of conversation in comparison to hearing from some player on the field just the entire time, right? Just saying little things underneath their breath, always kind of just chirping at them. Because what's that doing? It's just escalate until this dude pops And then you ain't getting anything. Like, you ain't getting any calls, no bang bang plays. Like, you're not going to get anything from that guy. So what are you really trying to accomplish? Are you trying to play for your team, trying to get calls, trying to make things go your way, or are you just trying to showboat it out to where it's like, oh, I'm this, whatever. And I don't know. That was just always the way that I always approached it, and I don't know. I think it works better in that aspect, and not saying we would get a bunch of calls, but I'm just saying that it would help de-escalate the
I
situation.
promise you, I love talking to players. I really do. As an umpire, I love talking to players.
Yeah, I
But I would have ran you off every time. Because why are you coming to talk to me after this big time call, bro? You're a child.
Yeah,
This is not your
I
place.
know what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
but
like
that was in college,
And
only in college.
Okay,
really.
okay, that's a little fair. That's okay.
Not
That's
like
fair.
when I was younger.
That's fair. See,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like in college,
Little
I
6-year-old Sheldon coming up to the field umpire.
Come here, sir. We need to have a conversation.
but
Listen
no,
up, pal.
but y'all,
Yeah, but that
y'all
was in
derailed my
college.
thought. Train of thought was derailed.
No, you're
You're
Derailed.
welcome.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I want to segue into Mr.
ESPN
Scott.
Ocho.
Yes, I want to talk about this man because he actually was taken out by ESPN to compete on a national level, doing something that none of us have ever done, other than probably in our backyards just for fun. But so talk to us a little bit about this. Where did this story start? How did it kind of blossom into you being on national television?
Yeah, well, sure. I'm sad that they're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I've seen
I was
it.
the last champion, so I
Well,
guess they had as good as they're going to get. So they said,
Well,
we're
yeah,
done.
I mean,
Hall of Fame performance. It is what it
when's
is.
the ceremony?
Yeah.
What do we do?
Hey, can we know?
Yeah. You want to know what it is?
Yeah.
So it's called Vi Sports. And it was an obstacle course. So you know how every year ESPN does like the ESPN the Ocho days?
Sure.
Okay. You know what okay.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
You watch the movie Dodgeball?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So they're like ESPN the Ocho. Yeah. So every year ESPN does a couple days where they call it ESPN the Ocho days, and they have these various sport competitions. Some of them are very oddball. Anyways, Vi Sports is one that is like an obstacle course, and so you go through it, and you basically put you through several different sports. So you would start off, you'd hit 3 golf balls into a target area, and you get a 2 points for each ball that you got in the target area. Then you go to the next station, and it was a softball, and you had to hit it over a fence at a certain distance, and you got 2 points for each one. Then you went to a tennis station, and it was 1 point, 2 point, 3 points, and it was like a short distance, a medium distance, and a long distance, and you had to hit it through this rectangle opening in a net. And then you went to the next station. It was basketball, same thing, 1 point, 2 point, 3 points, 3 different distances. And then you went to football, and it was like what you see at the Big 12 Dr. Pepper, where they're trying to throw a ball in the hole, and they had 3 different distances. And then you went to a soccer station, same thing. And so you have points at all these stations. And then the last thing is like you have these 3 different weighted medicine balls, and you have to throw it past this line. And then it was like a 20-yard sprint to the end. So it's timed, and then you have. I did not win the time aspect, by the way. But you have all these sports. And so Wichita hosted a regional. They partnered with YMCAs around the country, and they had 4 regionals, and Wichita being one of the greatest YMCA locations in the country, right?
Yeah.
Hosted at the South Branch on the turf there. And I went to help. So they had the sports directors kind of help set up, organize it. And then I was done with my shift. And I was like, I will compete. And I ended up having the best time here in Wichita. So
Yeah,
I beat our CEO, Ron McMahon.
Suck it, Ron.
No,
Oh, no, no.
Side,
No.
So side note, Ron.
Sorry, Ron. We like you.
Yeah, no, we do like Ron, actually.
We're joking.
Side note, Ron played for the Canadian national team basketball.
Oh,
And
wow.
he played against the Dream Team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
cool.
So I beat Ron.
Suck it, Sheldon.
Well, really, I mean, he's the GOAT over here. So
Anyway, so ESPN paid for me to go to Rock Hill, South Carolina, with the other regional winners and the prior year winner. So there was 5 of us, 5 males and 5 females, I ended up winning the national one. I had the best score that anybody's ever scored in the course.
Hall of Fame.
Again, I didn't win the timed part, but I didn't need it. So I was
Points are more important.
Yeah.
I hit all of my shots except for one golf ball
That's
Well,
crazy.
that barely rolled out the back of like like a circle, like a rope was around this area, and it was rolling nice and slow and just went right over the back.
Dang.
Oh, I would have had a perfect
score.
outside of, I got a 45 out of 50, and I think the only thing that, like, I missed that one, which would have got me a 47. The only other thing was the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome.
Nice.
Gets to get flown out by ESPN to do
You know,
backyard.
Have you
games
seen some of
challenge.
the stuff they have on ESPN the Ocho now?
Yeah.
There's car jitsu. Have you seen that?
Well,
Oh yeah, they get
When-
buckled in and then they
I haven't
They
seen
have
that.
to
Okay.
like choke each other out with the seatbelts and stuff.
yeah
And then there's like
fight
the,
their way out of the car.
tire wrestling.
What?
There's like a stack of tires where they're like, is it tires or a bin or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
They're wrestling each other in and out of the. Your goal is to like shove the other one inside these
Oddball
tires.
stuff, right?
They have
It's-
wrestling, basketball.
Pillow
where
fighting too.
they're like playing basketball, but like they're wrestling the entire time.
I want you to know. I really trying to see if you guys are serious.
Oh, right.
It's
Wrestling-
crazy.
I have
Wrestling
a-
basketball would be Dave's sport.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
W-
Remember,
Hey, we did that at basketball practice, so that's. I think I've done that one.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
my older brother. Speaking of wrestling basketball, so we back in junior high, so we have 3 gyms in our school district. It's a super small school district, but the one in McCallsburg, which is the smallest town, is the oldest gym. So like this gym's from probably the I don't know 50s or something, and it's still like it's got the seats like it'd be super loud if you played a game in there. It's like right next to the court, no space between
narrow. Yeah.
no space between the bleachers and the courts, and the bleachers are all wood and everything. He had a junior high coach that would basically do this basketball thing, like no out of bounds.
Oh,
So if the ball went up into the bleachers, you have to go get it, and it's 7th graders versus 8th graders just bodying each other
Sounds
to
like
go
an
get
injury
this
waiting
ball.
to happen.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying it was smart. And then they'd have to bring it back to the court and just keep playing. It's just like a full court game of basketball, but no out of bounds, nonstop. And I'm like, that's just insane.
sounds like some small
I
town
didn't.
Iowa.
Yeah, I didn't have to deal with
It's
it.
all right. We did that too. Our version was our coach would throw it in the middle, and we'd have to go get it. You got to get the ball, and trust me, you know what it is. A bunch of Bahamians just fighting over a basketball. That's not good.
Yeah.
So, and I'm talking like, you got to do
Some
everything
big
to get
bodies.
the ball. Yeah, you got. I'm talking like do everything to get the ball. Like we walked out a lot of those practice. A lot of fights, a lot of bruises,
Uh-huh.
a lot of we didn't have practice the next day because of that day. Nobody ever really got hurt seriously. Nobody ever actually got seriously injured, which is impressive. But there was a table broken. Table was harmed in the making of that video,
Oh.
100%, which was impressive because somebody went through the table.
Oh my goodness.
That was a fun time though.
You're the
Like I
Bills
said,
before the Bills.
no, that wasn't me though.
Oh,
I didn't go through the table. No, you think I look like a chump?
I've seen some of the guys that. I mean, there's some big dudes that you're around.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But basketball, man, it was fun. I'll play basketball again. That was my first love.
Is that actually? That's what they called that basketball.
No, it was supposed to be a toughness drill.
Oh.
We called it toughness drill because it was like we didn't know how to get calls. We didn't get much calls
Yeah.
like when we played. So we would always complain
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't like we were just not getting fouled. We were getting fouled. So after a while, our coach was like we had enough. So he did that and we started doing that. We played through contact and we did everything. I'm talking like when I mean like I was tackled out of the air. I was tackled out of the air.
Yeah.
Like 1990s bad boy Pistons Jordan rules, like that type of thing.
Prison ball, man.
Prison ball, that's a step up.
Oh.
Like what we did, I said what I said. 90s Pistons Jordan rules.
I like it. So when you guys were out there for the ESPN deal, what was that like? Kind of competing, like what was the? There's only 5 of you guys that were competing against each other. What was like? I'm sure it's a full production. Like they probably got all kinds of moving parts with that.
Oh,
What
yeah.
was that experience kind of like?
Yeah, you're on time.
Yeah.
There. Everything's on a certain time for sure.
Okay.
Everybody went through it once, and then they took the top 2 scores, and then it was me and the previous winner
Oh wow,
had the top 2 scores, and then we had to do it again, and that's actually when I got the better score. Was
second time.
the second time
Match.
Nice.
when it mattered the most.
You
Getting
know,
it locked in.
Clutched up.
Just had to focus.
He's that JUCO bandit mentality. right
Uh-huh.
there.
Hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was interesting. They had like so it wasn't just that event. They were hosting like a lot of I would say majority of the ESPN Ocho events. So when we were
Wow.
done, like I went back to the hotel, cleaned up, and came back, and I watched the Slippery Stairs event. That was
climbing up
fun.
that?
That was fun to watch.
Oh, that
Um,
thing looked insane.
Yeah, it was. That was really.
I don't think
fun
I've
to
seen that
watch,
on
actually.
the Ocho. I've seen that on like the
Yeah,
old
yeah.
Asian network thing, whatever
Asian
that.
Network?
I don't know what it was called. You remember those games? Like they were on like late night. We used to watch them in college all the time. It was just like old Asian game shows. Like I don't know what the name of them were or anything, but they've redone a lot of those here in America now. But the climbing up the slide with all the stuff on it was one. They always had like a boulder thing that would like come down, and they'd have to go side to side for that. I don't know what that was called. I'd have to ask my roommate.
But ESPN took everybody out to like I guess it would be like more like a sports bar, but they took everybody out, and they had appetizers and drinks and like the night before. So everybody from all of these events, not just ours,
was all kind of hanging out.
was all hanging out. So
That's
that was
cool.
Everybody got hammered the night before.
What?
No.
No,
No, they
I
were
mean,
locked.
yeah.
They were focused.
I mean, I think I had like 2 drinks, but yeah, it was.
Just enough
It
to
wasn't
lube
like
up the
that. It
muscles.
wasn't.
Yeah.
It was.
Just,
It was from
Yeah.
like 4 to 6.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
early.
like it was going till midnight or something.
10 to 12.
There was a lot of primetime athletes that were there. Okay, they had
Well,
routines.
Craft real seriously.
Yeah.
The guy I beat, the guy who won it the year before, he was a Guinness World Record holder.
What?
Yeah, I never actually looked it up to see which ones he holds, but I mean, they even say it on the show as you're watching. It was actually funny because we were watching it on Mother's Day the other day because it was re-airing because it
back on.
re-airs all the time.
Yeah, we're gonna have
So
to pull that up.
yeah, plenty of opportunity to watch.
You don't know what his record is though? Like, what it was
No,
with?
no, he has multiple Guinness
wow.
World Records, and I didn't look them up and see what they were, but
He
That's
doesn't
funny.
need to. You beat him.
Well, yeah,
Those are your
he's-
records
he's
now.
This guy.
Like,
Yeah,
no,
take
I
those
just
up.
never looked it up. But
that's hilarious. So go ahead and pass those up.
yeah, they're mine. now.
Yeah,
Your whole
But-
life is actually.
But I have now if you come into my office, I have a nice acrylic, like tall, I'd probably say about 1.5 foot
That's awesome.
trophy in the corner of my office.
They do
Yeah.
it big there.
It's pretty sweet.
And I got $1,000.
Psh,
Hey,
dude,
And they paid for me to go out there.
paid trip.
paid
Made
trip,
some money.
Got some
Got to
drinks,
hang out.
some apps.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously,
Jeez.
living.
The only
living sports
downside
life.
was they wouldn't pay for a +1, and it just didn't make any sense for us to pay for Candace, my wife, and
Yeah.
and
I remember you
kids
and I
to
talking about
go
that, yeah.
because we weren't going to have like all this extra time to do stuff. And it's like, well, I'm not going to pay all that money to have them go and then
Unless
not
you were gonna
have
stay a couple
right.
extra days or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So it was just me, and the sad part about that was it was my wife's birthday.
Oh.
So-
Well, you won it for
You
But
her.
But
The
she got a
$1,000.
shout out, yes,
Yeah,
and
there
she
you
got a shout out on ESPN.
Hey, you know, that's a good birthday present, I think.
Yeah.
Owen's solid.
That's from the heart right there. It's all heart, actually.
all heart, all heart. All right, well, we're coming up on the hour mark. So this will be kind of the time, Scott, where we always kind of let you just, if you got any shout outs or anything that you want to say to anybody out there. One, we appreciate you coming on and just kind of chatting with us. For all of you guys out there that do listen or tune into it, make sure you guys check out the YMCA, Scott Sports Programs, and all the stuff they do across the city, Northwest Y especially, but just across the city. They do a lot of cool things. It's very important for our youth to get involved. And, you know, we talk about this all the time just because we talk about travel and travel baseball a lot. But, you know, having more rec level league based sports is something that we are big proponents for, and we want kids to be active, be playing, get out there and do things. So make sure that you guys check those things out. Go check out their programs and look into them for sure. But Scott, anybody that you want to shout out, any words of motivation, anything out there? Obviously, being a local guy and being super successful in our community, we appreciate all the work that you do. We appreciate our partnership and the things that we have. But anything you want to say to the people, and then we'll close it up with a prayer and log it down.
Sure. Well, yeah, I'm a huge proponent of playing youth sports, so I feel like it gives kids an avenue to build a social life and a good routine. So, yeah, I mean, if you are in the thoughts of what should I get my kid into next, and you're not sure, like, start at the why. That's where you can start. It's also where you can grow. So, the why part of me says that, and then shout out to my wife and daughter Maddie, who are moving home today from KU.
Oh, nice.
So, or
Safe travels.
Maddie is coming home from KU today, so Candace drove up
Okay.
there this morning, and helping her pack up and come
That's
home.
awesome.
And then yeah, shout out to our Futures ICT Futures baseball team.
There it is.
We're doing well, and we got a tournament tonight, so looking forward to that.
Good luck,
Is
Blake.
Is Colt on your team? Colt Goodson?
Colt Goodson, he was on our team. He is on he's on a different 8U team. He's still with the Futures.
Okay.
He moved to a different Futures 8U team.
Colt is a
good kid.
pretty easy kid.
Yep.
You know? Keeping tabs on, just keeping tabs on the
Just get out
athletes.
there. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Awesome. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. Who wants to close us down? Sean, you got us? Sure. All right.
Lord, thank you for this morning and waking us up and bringing us together for this conversation. Thank you for all the work and the impact on youth and activity and sports and everything that Scott and the YMCA does for this community. Thank you for them keeping the facilities really great, really nice, and some of the best in the country, Lord. Thank you for blessing our community with that. I just pray that, they continue to impact the community at a high rate and continue to give kids a lot of opportunities to fall in love with sports and enjoy everything that athletics and physical activity has to offer. And that just be with all the parents, the kids, the umpires, the coaches, that they can enjoy the experience more than focus on individual moments. In your glorious name I pray, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. All right. Well, that'll wrap us up here at Kansas Sports HQ. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Get out, check out some sports going on over the weekend, and we will talk to you guys next time.